So, in today's video, we're going to be exploring the impact that AI has on filmmaking. AI has been around for a long time. No expert in AI, but I am a filmmaker and content creator, and we want to explore this a bit more in this video today and talk about its pros and cons and how this will affect the future of filmmaking. So, let's get into it. So I want to share a little story with you before we get into the impact of AI and uh, how it'll affect filmmaking's future. I myself went to film school back in 2007, and what made me appreciate the craft of film was being able to actually physically shoot on film itself. So I got to mess around with a 16 millimeter Bolex, and what was really cool about that was I was able to slice film together. Um, it's just really cool when you have that opportunity to be able to touch the thing that you created in your hand and then put it together physically. Obviously, my next class I would be able to edit digitally, but it definitely allowed a good foundation for me to be able to um, appreciate my craft more. So let's fast forward a little bit in regards to the advancement of technology. In regards to filmmaking itself, a lot of filmmakers in the 90s ended up switching to the earlier onset of digital filmmaking. It became more prevalent in the early 2000s, so you saw folks starting to shoot more or less on Panavision cameras and more on Aries Reds, and then even DSLRs since they became more accessible to everyday folks like you and me. What was really cool about that was you got these digital cameras and then combining those with visual effects were able to make photorealistic images. Eventually we would have AI, and AI started with chatbots and a bunch of random stuff. Then you got tools now like Midjourney and Sora, which we'll talk a little bit later on in the video, and even tools within cameras that you can also utilize. For me, I have an Insta360 Flow, which is a phone gimbal. I'll be talking a bit more about it in another video, so if you haven't, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. So when it comes to the pros, let's talk about a few of them. Efficiency is the first one. Whether you're a video editor, doing script analysis, or even trying to cast for your next project, it saves time and gives you more efficiency with your resources. So when it comes to the next thing, it's enhancing visuals. AI powered tools give you the flexibility of giving you better cinematography, visualization, and overall creating a better quality of production. You can look at that through the use of Sora AI that currently is in its infancy, which is ChatGPT's text to script component. And you could see pretty much all the visuals that I'm putting on the screen, how crazy this was. There's other folks like Marcus Brownlee talking about Sora, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but when I first saw these, I was blown away and even a bit scared about that this technology could do this. Another pro is data-driven insights. You could use an algorithm to tailor your needs for what you want to create in regards to impact for your audience and create your content that way, or tell your story much better with efficiency when it comes to uh, creating a film. And then the last thing is accessibility. There's plenty of tools out there. Sora, Midjourney that I mentioned. Yeah, there's plenty of tools and accessibility to help you create a good, compelling story utilizing AI as a tool. So now let's get into the cons of AI and what kind of scares me. One thing I notice is that there could be an over reliance on its dependency, which could create a loss of human touch. And the way that could be gone about is that it'll create sterile, sterile filmmaking, um, lack of depth and character. So having too much over reliance on AI will not allow you to connect better with your audience. That's something that you should definitely take in consideration when you're utilizing these tools. You don't want it to be 80% AI and then 20% human effort. You want to have a more balanced approach where it's human effort and you're utilizing this tool to enhance the story, but not to share the story. So you don't want something to look very mid because you rely too much on AI to help you tell that story. The second con is ethical concerns. Um, Over relying on AI. Um, there's been talks of data privacy, dealing with copyright issues. We need to have more guardrails of regulation um, when it comes to AI. This comes from the top down, from government adding policies to, us not being too over reliant on this technology. And it scares me too because we need to learn how to adapt to it or we would die as content creators and filmmakers. Um, I feel like it'll definitely impact job loss in the future. I could see, actors and cinematographers and even musicians losing their jobs because of AI. Another thing to think about is copyright issues. You could easily create a song and out of AI and then say, hey, I made this thing, even though it was AI generated. Another thing that I could think of when it comes to ethics is shaving off your overhead as a production studio. You could easily, instead of taking an actor or cinematographer, create that utilizing Sora. Um, we had strikes in 2023 with the Writers Guild and Actors Guild here in America because of these issues. So that's something that we need to focus on and make sure that when it comes to ethics that we have these rules and regulations in place, and it'll also help us not to lose our human touch when it comes to creativity. The next con is technical limitations. While AI tools are powerful, they have their limitations. I mean, the great example is the Will Smith one. And to go from there over a year ago to what Sora is capable of today, of course, it's not perfect. There's many iterations that they need to do, but we need to be aware of those technical abilities that a human could easily do much better than a machine. So some worry that reliance on AI can stifle creativity and also homogenize the creative process and at best making your story look very mid. Um, we can't depend too much on a technology. I feel like at some point in the future, there will be a lot of AI driven pieces, and people wouldn't be able to distinguish the difference between AI and something that is real. But I think at a point when it becomes commonplace in the future, people are going to want to crave something that is a bit more human, kind of what I'm doing right now, sharing with you face to face. Not face to face, but you get what I'm saying. And I hope that, this helps you out um, when it comes to thinking about the future of filmmaking and AI's impact on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you feel about this. I know I'm not the only creator out there uh, talking about AI and its impact, but I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it, how you feel it's going to affect the industry as a whole, um, and even the guardrails to protect ourselves. So I hope this video was very informational for you and that you liked it and it had some value. And I just wanted to share what I thought about my thoughts on AI. Make sure to like this video, comment, and if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.